They literally, I'll get into the world rankings in a second, but they literally swapped one ranking. So I didn't understand why Romania, just because they were 16th and Tonga were 15th, were the underdogs there. But I think we should get into the latest World Rugby rankings here, because there is actually obviously quite a few changes. There's actually a few changes outside the top 32 in around that 35 area. That does involve obviously the Swiss, but we'll speak about that in a second, because we are a top 30 rugby international podcast here. So number 30, we have the Germans. Number 29 is Brazil. They go down because the Polish, they go up to number 28. In 27 is the Belgium. Number 26 is the Netherlands. They go down because the Chileans, bingo, they're in number 25 now. They go up one spot. Namibia, they stay in 24th spot despite getting that victory over Zimbabwe. Russia, they'll go down because they did lose to Chile. They went from 21 to 23, which put Hong Kong up to 22, and it put Canada up to number 21. In Spain is 20. I don't know why I read the name of the country at first, but I did do it, and we're going to keep moving. Number 19 is Portugal. Number 18, Uruguay. They go down from 17 to 18, and the USA, they go up from 18 to 17. And then we get to the Tongans and the Romanians. They switch Aruno as well. Tonga goes from 15 to 16, and Romania, they go from 16 to 15. I've been raging on about the Romanians. They're coming, they're moving, they're grooving. Number 14, we have Italy. Lucky. They were able to get a sneaky little result there against the Uruguay. Number 13, Samoa. Number 12 is Georgia. Number 11 is Fiji. Number 10 is Japan. Number 9, we see Argentina go down to number 9, with Wales going up to number 8. Scotland in 7th, with the Australians debatably going down to number 6. France, obviously, they got up to number 5, and that is definitely not debatable. That was a great performance there against the Kiwis. Number 4, we have the Irish. Number 3, we have the English. Number 2, we have the All Blacks, and number 1, we have South Africa. Now, the biggest climbers of the week, we saw Colombia. They went from number 34 to 32. We saw France obviously go from 6 to number 5. We saw, debatably, Wales from number 9 to number 8. Romania from 16 to 15, and USA from 18 to 17. Biggest fallers, we saw Russia from 21 to 23. The Switzerland, they went from 33 to 35. They're still dropping. They were 27 just a few weeks ago. Australia, debatably, from 5 down to 6. Argentina from 8 down to 9, and the Tongans from 15 to 16. So after everything I've just read out there, mate, what are your thoughts?
Well, there were a lot of changes like we had last week as well. There were just teams going all over the place. The biggest one for me here, I think, is because it's going to be South Africa a couple points clear of the All Blacks now, after the All Blacks did lose that game.
I will say something quickly. This is very close to New Zealand's lowest ever points, by the way. Did you know that? I think the lowest ever points was 88.17, if I'm not mistaken. They're currently 88.75, which is still about half above, but in the same sense, it's very close to the lowest. They've never been out of the top 3, and their lowest ever points was 88.17. I think I saw a couple of hours ago.
Because I do know that at the start of the match between the All Blacks and France, it was whoever won that game. If the All Blacks were the winner of that one, they were moving back into that number 1 spot above South Africa, because they were just neck and neck between those two sides. And I am interested to know what's going to happen after the Six Nations. That's the next competition now for international rugby. That's really got my mind racing for what we're going to get to see. Wales, like you mentioned, they're sitting in 8th now, and I believe they are the lowest out of any Six Nations side in those top ones, other than, of course, Italy, who are a little bit further down, who I'm hoping have a decent Six Nations, but it will be pretty tough for them when there is. The likes of Ireland, they've found some good form. France, they're in good form. England working their way back into form as well, with that Marcus Smith combo at number 10. And then also was Tuolangi for about 12 minutes until he got injured again. I really hope that man... He did, but he keeps on getting injured. I like seeing him play, but every single time he comes back, it's like someone mentioned he's an impact player, and I said to them as well, he's absolutely an impact player, but the problem is that impact is about 9 months apart in between his injuries that he does keep on getting himself. So hopefully he's not out for too long, and he is going to be back in that Sale Sharks kit.
You got there, mate. You got there in the end, mate. You got there in the end. Look, obviously looking at the rankings, I believe Wales are about what they are. Yep. I believe that they should be kind of exactly where they are. They could potentially interchange with Scotland, but if you think that Wales are a better team than Australia, you are sorely mistaken. And we've been proven to that with what we witnessed over the weekend. And Wales fans, I know deep down that you are very well aware about that game. So we'll be speaking in depth about that in just a few moments. But I think that this tournament has proven to me that Wales are in 8th area. They're definitely above Argentina, though. Like, I was waiting for them to jump Argentina. But they're not better than any of Australia, France, Ireland, England, New Zealand, or South Africa. And that's definitely been proven to me. Outside of that, I think that South Africa, they've gone. They're still top of the table there. Yeah, obviously New Zealand would have gone back to the top. I just think New Zealand were tired, man. I think New Zealand were tired, and it's been a long time away from the homeland. But in the same sense, look, let's not get too much into that because we'll analyse each individual